Hello everyone and welcome. Today we have a speed build. I'm VelvettB and thanks for joining me on this build. So what we are building today is the rock pools. I got this inspiration from the Riviera Retreat kit. If you're not aware, it is a fabulous kit and I love it. I don't know, it's just like simple little things, but they make such a big difference to your build. And what I I love probably most, if not all of the kit, but one of the things that I really love about that kit is the grotto rocks with the little waterfall coming down them. Oh, love them. I'm just going to use them on basically all of my pool, all of my pool builds from now on because I can't help myself. Well, you know, I'm saying that now. Still in the fuzz of, you know, the kit coming out. It's still a few weeks later and I'm still loving it. So so this is what I was inspired by, was those grotto rocks, and I kind of had it in my head for a little while, this build, and it just took me a little while to get around to actually doing it. But I just kind of pictured, this is actually being built in Moonwood Mill, so this is the werewolves world. And I just kind of had this idea in my head, because you think the Riviera Retreat kit and you're thinking, you know, luxury in France and, you know, that sort of thing. And I built that, but then I kind of had it in my head when I saw the grey palette of the rock, and you can sort of see it going in there now. That's the waterfall grotto rock. There's two different styles from the Riviera Retreat kit. And yeah, I saw that grey and I just kind of thought about like rock pools. And then I sort of thought about which world would look really good with the rock pools, and like there's Windenburg, and I know had someone who downloaded this build and put it in Windenburg, I think at the Bluffs, and they said it looked really good there as well. So I was like, ooh, that's cool. But I'm actually putting this on the Prowler's Patch lot in Moonwood Mill. I just kind of, you know, with the rocks and the trees, and I don't know, I just wanted to build something nice for the werewolves to go swimming and have some fun. So yeah, that was kind of what I was inspired by. So I just kind of had it in my head, like there was going to be all these rocks and it's just going to be like all these waterfalls coming down and like two levels of pool. So you can sort of see that there. So you got your top pool and then you kind of got all the waterfall rocks coming down to the second pool. So it's like a couple of levels. And I kind of imagined that all the changing rooms would go underneath, like the same level as the bottom pool, but underneath kind of underneath the top level pool. So I thought, yeah, I can imagine people would like be sitting on top, so like that would be your you know, your sun lounging kind of area, and then like underneath the sun lounging area would be your changing rooms. And this is kind of what I had envisioned in my head. And it's just one of these builds where it kind of came to life, which was quite cool. Like, I think it's a really funky build. I used a lot of the debug plants from the werewolf pack. And this is like my new favorite debug plant, this one here that I'm using at the moment. It's I know it's got vanilla in the title. It's really nice, and it kind of like drapes down a little bit as well, which is really cool. So yeah, this was definitely designed for werewolves, but I think it does fit in other worlds as well. Yeah, I could definitely see it in Windenburg. Just anything with those light grey rocks, I think it could work really nicely there. But I did kind of want to go kind of yeah, werewolfy, a little bit run down, like the werewolves have had run of the place for a little while. You know, like it's sort of left in the wild and that sort of thing. It feels wild, and that was kind of the idea of it. So I'm just going to work on the changing rooms here underneath. So I just kind of blocked off the stones. I didn't want to fuss around for ages with like, because the problem when you're building with stones like this is if you're going to have the building close by, obviously you're going to have the rocks starting to poke through the walls and that sort of thing. So I left myself some, you know, some room there so I can kind of block off the walls and not be too affected by the rocks into the building as such. And I kind of used a little bit of like outdoor retreat and get to work as well, because I kind of wanted like a little bit of kind of rustic. It's kind of rustic meets industrial, I guess, is kind of the idea for these changing rooms. So it's like, you know, it's practical and it's something that you would see in public changing rooms. I think I did this a little bit less in the next little bit here, which is kind of the family changing rooms, because there's like a seat and stuff like that. So it's a little less like public, like, you know, this is more like what you would see in maybe a mall. Although I did keep it kind of basic, so I didn't like go over the top with like what was going to be in here, because I kind of thought about it as a public area that would kind of be maintained by the council or whatever, but it is, you know, very much people coming through, and you know, it's not necessarily well cared for, so a little bit run down. And this is why I'm doing like the little scratches from the werewolf pack and little bits of worn down on the walls, a little bit of graffiti and artwork and stuff on the walls. So I thought that would work really nicely. So now I am digging into the Riviera Retreat kit. I'm doing the pool lights and the ladders and stuff like that, just getting it all lit up so it has a bit of illumination at night time as well. I did think about that. If you're not aware, you can actually change the color of your pool, so it's exactly like a room. You can change the flooring and you can change the walls on your pools. So I did that with, I actually used the vampires. I love the vampire stone. It's really nice, the stone flooring, and I can't remember what I used on the wall. No, I can't remember which one I used on the wall, but anyway, I used that flooring from the Vampires pack because I really like that. So I was sort of digging into like anything that kind of had a rustic vibe to it. I didn't want to go like super fancy because I felt like it wouldn't really lend itself to being like, it's not a luxurious, it's kind of like an outdoor public place, right? It's cool, but it's not supposed to be like super luxe. It's just going to be like a fun outdoor area for werewolves, you know. And those were, I tell you what, if I haven't won an award, if there was an award for most grotto rocks used in a build, possibly I would win it, because I used so many grotto rocks in this build, like so many rocks. It was crazy. So just using like the get together jumping in, oh, what's it called? I don't remember, but it's from Get Together anyway, you know, where you jump in the pool. It's a lot of platform, that's the word I'm going for. And just using the Wedding Stories lounges. The reason I went for those is that they are plain and wooden, and I kind of thought anything with a cushion kind of didn't make a lot of sense, even though I did put like the little toweling racks there. But I kind of figured like those toweling racks would be something that, you know, people would put the towels on when they came. So yeah, anyway, that's the build done. So I'm just taking a wee tour of the build, having a wee look around. No filter on this. This is just exactly as you see it in the game on a nice sunny day in Moonwood Mill. So, you know, people will come to the pool. I did play test it, so as you can see here, this is just me play testing it, to be honest. While I was doing the tour, I was like, right, let's just see, make sure they can use the changing rooms, make sure they can get into the pools and they can do all that. So I think it's all good, tickety boo. And I did like little bistro tables. I did change a couple of things around after the build. I just sort of looked at a couple of things and tweaked it a bit, but you know, as you do. And yeah, I had actually had lots of people coming in. We had sort of werewolves diving off things and people in the changing rooms. I wasn't able, unfortunately, to test the diaper tables, but hopefully they're okay. But from what I could tell, the bathrooms and the showers and stuff were all fine. So, you know, that industrial rustic kind of vibe. See, he's in there doing his things. And then you've got like the little changing rooms. We've made a little bit of an effort to make it kid friendly and that sort of thing. So I hope you enjoyed the build. It is up on the gallery, VelvettB. It's called the Rock Pools. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.